Na wakule mashuksha.
He was my modern Hitler.
It's a sugar-coated drug. It's not funny, bro. Alcohol is something I just do not understand as to how
somebody gets into it.
No, not how you would stay in it. How you would stay. Number one, there is no sweet alcohol. There is no sweet. There is no completely sweet juice. There is no.
We have those that
sugar. Maybe now you make your own.
Do you know that there is something like juice ajaba? Have you heard it?
Juice ajaba, yeah.
Okay, it's until yesterday I came across juice ajaba. No, I didn't test it, but I was surprised as a young lady approaches me and then nauza juice ajaba. Unaweza jaribu juice ajaba. You know jaba is
cut.
Yeah. Alright.
It's meant to be chilled.
It's meant to be chilled. So like I was surprised. Okay, so it is not really getting you where you really want it to get you until you feel like I need now to boil it. Yeah, as in I was surprised honestly.
I guess it's the dopamine hit that it gives you. It's affecting so many. So now it's sherehe. Sherehe has been. It's like a new revolution. You've had an experience with alcohol.
Personally?
Yes.
Yep.
And
a bad one. My very first day I used alcohol. I remember I was in college and it was I don't know, was it a freshers night? No, it was something to do with fashion and talent show and stuff. I remember I told the brother, well, let's get a bottle of, brandy. And we went for, back then, I don't know whether they're in the shops these days. It was, I remember, a Legend bottle. We took two. We took two. I took flashes of the brandy. The brother did the same. Minutes later. Let's just say minutes. Actually, minutes seems to be so long. Like, just after taking the flashes of the drink, I remember I felt like I was a giant. I felt like I could approach anybody. I felt like I wanted to be given space, on the podium to be the MC. I was trouble all around. You get? Every pretty lady I was eager to talk to, confidently, with a well-crafted aplomb. Later on, I remember the brother again lured me to, some other consumption, but this time he told me, well, we are not going to take those cheap drinks. Let's do some wine, say. So we used to hide, boxes of wines, expensive wines under the bed. So every Sunday or maybe Saturday, Sunday, we could go into the house, lock ourselves, cook food, eat, and then drink. Drink to death. You get? I remember at some particular point, literally, I'll say this honestly, I was almost dying again. Wait. So this is the second time I'm almost dying out of drugs, and substance abuse. Literally, the house was, booming with loud music. But as I took a whole bottle, it was around, there were these 1.7 liters of wine. I consumed the whole thing, at times in flashes, and then I binge on some food, and then, you get? By the time I was realizing, I was knocked down already. And so what made me feel like I'm dying, honestly, the booming loud music was waning every passing second. And so I was like, wait, where am I even going? Why am I not feeling anything? And so in a few jiffies, I was in my own world. There left alone. The brothers around me can't see that the brother actually has passed out. I threw out badly, the whole bottle of wine plus the chunks of meat that I had swallowed, everything literally, and I felt like...
Didn't you swallowed?
I swallowed them because they were all my brother. I was drunk, I was swallowing them, I had no time to chill. So by the time I was coming, to my rightful state, And then they were narrating all this to me. I was like, well, if that's the experience, honestly, because I felt like I was dying, I don't want to go back to it again. And I meant it.
Well, I have a life testimony. I drank while I was young. While I was in today's grade. So while I was in grade 4. Yeah, and that is okay, Mimi. Chanisema hivi live on camera.
Don't strangle your son.
Yeah. Do not. Kwetu tumepika chang'aa, alright? We're local brewers, alright? Local brewers kwa chemsha chang'aa and till to date. Honestly, Trevor, I can arrange you the setup until I collect you the
distilled drink.
Yeah. Like it's not a joke, it's true, alright? So even I remember when I went to high school, then on this class, this topic, organic chemistry, about alcohol. So then I was like, but are these things not the same things which I boil at home? Then I'll even correct the teacher and tell him, no, you missed a setup there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's good.
Yeah, was that so my while I was young, there was this person who used to come and he would get drunk, and for him he used to mix coke with the brew.
Yeah.
So when he will get really drunk, and then I will become a boxer.
Yeah.
Then he will box our house. He will box our So, with my curiosity, I decided to try it. Apparently, it was almost my first times coming to Nairobi. So then I took it.
You wanted to become a Mike Tyson.
Then I took it. Test after test. Then it took me. As in, I was not myself again. So actually, I decided boxing also.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when my dad realized, kijana amelewa. Yeah, my dad came to me. You see, the whole addiction has to do with the euphoric feeling.
Effect, yes.
Yeah. So I will tell you this, as Malik mentioned earlier. You see that point or the place where you took your fast, right? Chances are that you'll continue with the same thing, alright? Or even upgrade, as some call it, upgrade, because as one continues to use one substance, somebody comes and recommends, have you tried this? Now this is the real deal, right? So the real deal introduces another real deal, and then no sooner you continue with this, then you get another real deal. Now the other real deal is when you are really into it, and you know what?
You are helpless without it.
You are wallowing.
Sure.
You are in the midst of a sea without a lifeboat, without a life jacket, and you are asking, who will come to my rescue?
You see, peer pressure and influence is what drives us to start abusing drugs in high school.
It only gets worse at college level. That's where it gets worse. That's where I'm mostly
sure. We get lifelong drunkards from.
Exactly.
Lifelong smokers from.
Parents who happened to have gone to college or even a university, who today, as you're speaking, and probably you're watching me, you are a boozer. That is, you're a drunkard. Probably you could even be you are deep into drugs. You can attest to this, that you started, as in it got worse while you're in college. Only that now maybe you're in a different setup, in a marriage setup, right? And maybe out in the corporate world.
There are two types of people, those who are curious and those who are going through certain issues that when met with the right form of peer pressure that will channel them in that direction, they walk in it and they find peace in that. And so it becomes a norm for them. As weird as it would sound to you as a parent, to you who doesn't understand why this person is staying in this cocoon that they've formed for themselves, now you can gain just a little perspective and try to see that maybe, just maybe, they find comfort in that. And I would like to pose a question. Like, what is the first thing a parent would do when they figure out that their child is deep into drugs? What do you think?
On my view, it depends.
You said your dad would kill you.
My dad would
strangle you to death.
Strangle me. You know? Yeah. So it, from my view, it depends with the sort of like how exposed the parent is. You know?
Yeah. So if they are quite familiar with how it affects someone, they've been there before.
If they've been there before, or maybe if they've experienced some other person who has been there before.
Or they have a know-how.
If they have the know-how. Exactly. So that will really determine how the parent will react.
Because I'm sure these parents, you even have your groups.
Yeah.
So like you have Mama Nani or Baba Nani's things. Oh, my son, so deep in, I don't know what to do. He's doing this. Hata meno zimeanza kuanguka. Hata havai nguo vizuri, ni mchafu, ni nini. So, and you see that would affect the mind of another parent. So like when this parent who doesn't know what's happening, right? I mean, doesn't know what's happening, but hears the story from another parent and sees their child going into that, like, oh, shucks.
Well,
no.
You see?
No. So then, now it's time for war.
It's war.
Right? But I guess we can all come together and agree that the first thing that would happen is the parent would be infuriated.
That is usually, as in it is called,
or rather the authority.
It's actually a reflex action. All right. As in, you don't really need to think, to sit and think about it. It just comes out. All right. As he has mentioned, his father will kill him, right? So okay, let me tell just a little about my brother. All right. And let me tell you this, Trevor.
Is your dad the disciplinarian?
I till to that I call him during
Hitler.
my time. Yes, he was my modern Hitler. Yeah.
But so why does your brother share a difference?
Exactly. Honestly, there's a time that parents really hang the boots in a military term. They call it hanging the boots. All right. So the parent forgets their duty, and usually the pressure and the discipline is at first. In most cases, it is the firstborns.
Exactly.
It's the firstborns who experience the discipline. All right. Actually, we'll call it the right discipline. But once the second-born comes, the third-born comes, it's kinda. Now the parents delegate the duty of disciplining their children to the firstborn.
Exactly.
Which is very wrong. All right. So it's the same case with my brother. All right. I first, I don't know if it was a military training, but till to date, honestly, I always find myself, not really, I'm not an introvert, but you will really find me in groups, right? Because my dad was that kind of a man whom you wouldn't just walk anyhow. As in, you have no purpose? Don't you have books in the house? You're supposed to be reading, all right? Sure. So that was my dad. But once that got into my system, so my dad, I saw him, like, he's no longer my modern Hitler. He has abnegated, I will call it. He has left his duty. Yeah, all right. So my brother, and again, by the time that parents come to realize that one of their children is using some drugs, it's usually when it is almost too late. Yeah, because I remember my brother when my dad started suspecting, you know, okay, mentioning this on camera, my dad, I know somewhere will be watching, or he might come across this podcast
Someday.
and he will hang me alive.
Not hang him. Not hang him.
You know, my dad has given us as a family his own life history.
Yeah.
My dad was also, you know,
Raised in the same.
Yes, my dad used to eat, and one of the symptoms is that by those who, I don't know if it was the same case with you, they eat a lot.
Yes.
They eat, and that's how we realized my brother is using weed. Okay, at first I thought I was a pro in it, but it's until my brother started using the stick. Hey.
Binging all over.
Eh? What? Hey, it was really.
Fieka kabisa.
Wow, okay.
So when
You said your father
yes, so my dad actually
in his previous
when he was a youth. He was a youth. So in fact for him it was worse. He says that they will break into someone's homestead and then just pick a chicken.
Exactly.
Wanapika wanakula. Nasema nini? Na washibi watoke hapo hivyo waende wachemshe githeri. Ai jamani. Wakule
kwa shamba wachukue ndizi.
Kwa shamba wakule ndizi ya mtu. So that's how my dad, when he started observing those, you know, unbecoming behaviors and abnormal, you know,
started to conjecture.
Yeah, this boy is into drugs.
How did he stop?
No,
your dad.
My dad.
Yeah.
Well, in inquiring, you know, and as I mentioned,
you should tell him. Don't tell me. Go talk to him and tell him
my
how
dad
you stopped.
was infuriated. My dad was
Engaged. Yeah.
But again, you know what?
It's a good story.
By the time that they discover that this young man is into drugs or is into weed, it was kind of almost. It was actually on the last stage. He was approaching full blown. So until today, and now the painful bit of it is that it is already there, right? He is already there, and so what do we do? You know, the Hitler method of disciplining can't work anymore.
It can't. Zero work.
Besides now, you know,
that's zero. You can't do anything with that.
Yes.
In fact, he might fight you back.
He might fight you back. Of which, by the way, to mention, he has. They fought before, so it is
fight back.
So it is really a nasty experience, you know, and
that's why I'm saying, talk to him about your experience, because you were slaughtering chickens, slaughtering your neighbor's chickens to feed yourself. What about your son? He's also deep into it, because I'll confess this to you. I reached a point where I was smoking hadi nadonongo na mate bila hata kujua, right? I was slow. Yeah,
people thought you were salivating.
Not
you were hungry.
Sometimes
in a chunk of meat.
Yeah, so you just find yourself, you're like this, you're chilling, and then I'm like, hey, what was that? And then it happens once, it happens twice.
It catches you by surprise.
Yeah,
by surprise. Then you're surprised.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, because you see,
right.
it really numbs you. Right?
Sure.
But I wasn't realizing that I'm that deep. Only someone who's outside would
tell.
Yeah, but I didn't. I think it reached a point where my mom was asking,
no.
Like my eyes.
And the lips.
My eyes, yes. My lips.
Yeah.
So maybe the parent who's out there will want to know maybe how to tell how.
The lips are usually dark. The lips start getting
very
dark.
Yeah, dark.
All right.
So like
yeah, dark. They might not come home with their eyes red, all right? Because they might. Okay, they will tell themselves. Watajua mapema. Wacha nikae kwanza.
Na wakule mashuksha.
Na wakule mashuksha. All right? So let me wacha kwanza nicheze low, all right? Ndio nikienda wasijue, but the lips will always tell you, because that was the first symptom that my dad read. Yeah, my brother lips started getting dark and they grew darker by day. So my mom was there with, you know, her innocence. She doesn't know symptoms za drugs and whatever. So she's there, ano, mtoto unajua ni lips tu anakuanga na ugonjwa, but my dad insisted. All right. And by the way, parents, again, this maybe it could be a call for a call on parents. Please know these things. All right. Know these things. You are not too old to know these things. As in, for the sake of this generation, and again, else it is going to be a case that will have a toll on you in all rounds, and it's as in will into
be repressible.
Yeah, it will be irreparable actually.
Sure. And like we've also mentioned, discipline will not do anything. Which is why I want us to arrive as to how you can help someone get out of this, which we'll get to. The thing I love about humans is that we have different vibrations. You have the high vibrational, you have those guys who are just there, you know, in the middle, and then you have the low vibrational, right? So that person who's in a low vibration would get this experience from this substance that will take them to that high vibration. And what do you find that this individual will find suitable for them? Staying in that high vibrational space. Because maybe when they're in that low vibrational space, which is something that I really observe, is that they do not feel like they are part of the clan or they are wanted or nini. These are people who, what do you call it? You're dependent on another, right? You cannot find that confidence in self or comfortability with self and being as self is natural. The outside influence would force you to be something more. How do you become something more? By staying in that.
That's fear. The old man, you know, once said that charity begins at home, were really wise indeed. You see, the parents out there, you know, who are like, why is it that our children have turned out to be what they are? Without realizing that the child in his early age, you know, of development, all the way moving up, burgeoning into adulthood, or rather adulthood, will take from you what they saw you do. And so before pointing a finger to the kid, first let it point to you and, you know, question yourself, what have I done wrong in the upbringing? And once you answer that question, then you will know where to start, you know, at in the, you know, process of correction of that child who might be really deep in consumption of drugs.
My dad used to take, right?
The bottles.
Sijui mama pia nikutaje, acha sitakutaja.
Unajiju?
So yeah, so I would feel really bad, more especially when my mom will take it.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
I used to feel like, well, for my dad you can take it,
sure,
yeah, but for mom, you're our last hope. Then my mom, as in, I used to feel like our entire home was vulnerable and exposed to whatever sort of danger, if any were to strike at the time. Honestly, it's really bad news for a mother to drink. It's bad news. You are the ones who hold a family. Yeah, like that's what I would say. So that's to say also, those who are even to become future mothers, young ladies in colleges, please,
cease.
If at all you ever dream to bring up a home, alcohol is number one enemy. Families are developed from such a tender age, as in young ladies and young men.
They move up to be, you know,
they move up to
have families.
Exactly.
You grow up.
Look at your family. Do they have the muscle to carry you with that burden? If they don't have the muscle, please do not be then a burden on their shoulders. There is a lot that already
is a burden.
This life. The economy, all right, just making it real. No. Look at the life that we are as at now. Does it augur so well for you to try and plunge in that kind of direction? So if it is not really the road, don't try it. Or even if you tried it and it's once, then don't continue.
If you're out there and then you're like in this sort of sphere, maybe you're starting it, and then you're having these little experiences which are not good. They can never be good. Weed has never been good to people when they are or rather smoking it for the first time. So is alcohol or whichever sort of drug, because you know why? The system is communicating to you and telling you, well, whatever you are giving me,
it's foreign.
It's foreign,
yeah,
and harmful.
You see, that first puff, probably you almost fainted, and you almost fell down. You coughed and coughed and coughed, and you are like, what's this? But after the second puff, the third one, the fourth one, you know what? Your body acclimatized. So what is the best way? Well, this might sound unconventional, but look here, it is the reality. And the reality on the ground is this. Honestly, if I'm used to a full packet of cigar, stopping me from that full packet of cigar immediately,
impossible.
I will relapse in the following day. Yeah, you can gradually reduce it. All right, slowly by slowly, removing your system, detoxifying your system. All right, from this liquor. All right, so reduce it gradually and be determined. As in, be determined and be resolute. It is a resolution that you have. You see, Malika said, as in he told himself. So again, it calls for, like, are you willing? All right?
Yeah.
Are you willing? If you're willing, then it's possible.
It's possible.
It's actually sad news. Because in truth, it's actually sad news. Because in truth, it mostly affects the people around you.
True.
And that's what I've observed personally. Like, there was this time my dad caught me with a blunt, right? Caught me with a blunt, and like, now what's this? What is this? Told him it's a blunt. We talked about it, and he's like,
you are that forthright. It's a blunt.
Yeah. Now what happens if your brother sees this? Why are you smoking? He told me, just if you're going to smoke this, don't smoke it in my house. Don't smoke it in my compound, right? So you would see that it actually affects the people that are closest to you.
True.
And then again, yes, you might realize that it's affecting the people around you, but then again, you're doing this certain thing because you're also affected in a certain way, right? So, where I think that these two affected parties would meet at common ground is when you communicate. Everything revolves around that relationship.
Yeah.
You said very earlier, that maybe someone is here because they don't have a certain type of love.
Sure.
You said someone has gone through a heartbreak, so now they're drinking, right? Forgive me for saying this, but I've also been confessed to by my father that there was a time where he got into alcohol because of heartbreak, right? And he got really deep into it. So,
yeah,
right? So you can see that it revolves around relationships, love. You're looking for it. So when we get to relationships in the next shoot, stay tuned, right? You will get a better understanding on all of this. Right?
Before it gets to such an extreme, you are out there in college and university. My voice, is sounding out to you in solemn appeal that you may stop right in your tracks. If you are in any way being influenced by those friends of yours who day in, day out are presenting before you sticks of bang, bottles of alcohol, playing with you to accompany them to parties, because in such influence, many have lost sight, many have lost their tracks, and are now entrenched in a life that they hate. So if you're getting this clearly, then you'd rather buy it freely. You won't in any way become a better mom to your kids or a better father to your kids in the days that are ahead of you, if at all you will end up in such a life, which will turn out to be a tragedy. And as I have stated earlier, that the devil has always endeavored to break apart families, and so he'll go around creating ways, and formulating every mechanism that may be used to ensure that the home, which is the heart of the society, is not at peace, and there are no principles that are instilled to the children. And when he succeeds in that, then he is very sure that the society will be corrupt. When the society is corrupt, then the world is corrupt. When the world is corrupt, then he has it.
There's that one friend who is truly your friend, but again, he or she is the same person who recommends, who suggests a bottle. Please, friend, don't board. There's that one stress. There's that person probably who is kind of breaking your heart and avoiding your calls. You send the text, but they don't reply. So you are stressed. You're a young man, you're a young lady. So you're kind of thinking of, what can I resort to relieve myself? Or what can I resort to use in order to fill this vacuum that these loved ones are so determined to create in me? Thinking about the stick, or even the bottle, or even, that which is not. Don't board. You could be even coming from a broken family. There are always incessant family feuds, and kind of that, throws you off. And you're envious of that family in the neighborhood. And you're wondering, how are they holding up? How is it that we can't be the same? So that is really stressing you. It's bogging you down. There's something that's probably, ringing in your mind about you, you forget this stress for a while. You know what I'm talking about. Don't board. You are that student who has not been attending class. I'm trying to be real as possible. I'm trying to tell you what you usually do.
Sure.
You are not attending those classes. A classmate comes and suggests, you know what, if you want to have all this junk of information for 2 semesters in your head for just a night, hey, there's cut to chew, or there's even something to keep you awake the entire night. Don't board. Remember, you are not only a victim, but you're affecting those who care about you. The virtue that they love you, they can't let you go. Please don't let go of yourself either. Please, if you can, there are those who can. If you can, call yourself to a meeting and then ask yourself this question: why am I doing this? If you can, that is. And if you can't, hey, you can cry out for help. People are ready to help. Alright? People are ready to listen to you. You could be coming from a home where you're never listened to. No one cares about you. But hey, don't feel alone. It is possible for those who already need to get out. Yes. You see, the same way you got in is the same way. As in, you gave your back to your good life and you faced a road down to, a pitfall. You are in that hole. The same way, you can again turn your head, give a back to that kind of life, and start making one step towards the outside of the tunnel. You don't want to lose yourself. Time, right? Resources. There's no progress. There's no progress. Speaking from experience, there's no progress. Whenever the family is out seeking to, recover this loved one. It's as in people just mark time. There's no progress. The family wants maybe to do some project, but they can't. Why? Because you've become their project. Yeah. So please don't try. And if you're in it, it's possible. And thank God for your family. If you have such a caring family, and if you don't have a caring family, somebody wants to listen to you.
Sure.
Thank you.
I told you this is going to be a good one. Wow. I don't even know what to say. If my heart has been touched by those words, then I'm sure some other hearts have been touched.
Yeah.
I cannot say that all of them have been touched, right? But some. And those are the people we're looking for.
Yeah.
The ones who are willing. The ones who want the help. I was told to smile for that one reason.
Yeah.
For that one person who comes back and says, yes, help me. Right?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what to say. This is the episode where Rafiki has been struck silent. Right? You're out there. You've listened. However it's impacted you. So the parents who have struggling children in these drugs, you have listened. To the children and the young generation who is going through the same, and you have whatever it is that you're going through, you understand, you've gotten some sense of understanding through what we've been speaking about. To those who haven't tried it before, and you're listening and you're gaining new perspectives, I wish you all just a good understanding on whatever it is that we're speaking about. What I would say, and I think this is where I would get personal in terms of myself, I will share with you guys how I managed to stop weed, which was very, very hard. I even found myself relapsing, to be very truthful with you. One thing that drove me to my destination was the power of saying no. Even if yes, I might relapse. Keeping that in mind, that I do have the power of saying no, and knowing that whatever would come after would be mostly someone trying to bring me back into it means that there is a force that is not happy with me quitting. And that source has been mentioned. If you are paying attention, the one who wants to break the families, the one who's it's his delegated duty from the beginning. That's the job he gave himself, to go against the Lord, to break everything, destroy everything in his path. A hungry lion. Have you ever seen a hungry lion? The power of saying no has been very key through my journey. Right? Knowing whom you were before was also very key. Because you'd find in most cases, you would be reminded, oh, you were such, you were this and this and this. You were so, what happened? Remember who you were.
Wow.
Remember who that person was that brought light around those whom surrounded you. Because like everyone, like he has said, it affects mostly those who surround you.
Yeah.
Not the people that you surround yourself with, whom you indulge with, who you indulge in the same spaces with, but the people who surround you. At the end of the day, everyone has a struggle. You're not in that struggle alone. There are people who want to listen to you. There are people who want to be there for you, who want to help you walk step by step. Because like he said, you cannot stop a car moving at 120 kilometers per hour. You'll crash. You'll have an accident. Someone might even commit suicide. Because now they feel so unwanted. It's like, now I'm a plague to you. Let me just end my life and leave you guys. Because you do not want me in my current state, true?
Sure.
You do not like me in my state of where I am into drugs. So let me kill myself. If you do not have anyone to talk to, you might be out there even doing drugs right now because you don't have anyone to talk to. Because you want to run to that safe space where you feel comfortable. Because everyone is against you. And if you try to talk to someone, they tell you, we vuta hii kitu, we kunywa hii kitu, acha maneno mingi bana, we kunywa hii kitu, we vuta hii kitu. Come to me.
Sure.
Call me. My line is on, it's at the end of the video. Just call my number, I'll pick up any. If you want the help, reach out. Digest everything. And try to find your way home, because everyone is lost in some sort of way. For those who are found, may you reach out and help those who are lost to find themselves. And with that, the end. The end. Cut the cameras, cut. Child, thank you for coming, Malik. Thank you. And this has been wonderful. It's been amazing.
Amazing.
Such wonderful insights.